So now, same exact thing. Now we have the choke working from the ground. I've got my grip the way I want it. Now I need to break his posture, right? And push into him a little bit, connect with my legs, use my lower body to pull him back down. And I'm in a position like this, right? My knees now are the main thing that's keeping him down in his posture. Now I just need to get my hand to the other side. I would love to be able to put my thumb in the gi, but when you've got these modern jiu-jitsu gis, and there's usually not space, okay? So instead, I'm just gonna grab whatever I can grab on the other side and then finish my choke, okay? So hand comes around, drop my elbow. As I go to choke him, I would hang my weight on him and I'll bring my head underneath him that direction. Start to hang on him a little bit, okay? But it's the exact same choke we did. Down, drop it back down, and now my head starts to come back here. Good. Okay, let's try it. I know this should be review for a lot of you guys, but this is pretty old school, classic jiu-jitsu combinations. But even if you don't wind up favoring this grip and using this particular setup from closed guard, which you might not use, it might not be the way you like to play, you're going to run into it because it's super common, right? All right, so the thing that naturally goes perfectly together with this cross collar choke is the arm bar. So now, as I lay back, same thing, foot's just going to go to the hip, and then I have the arm lock. And I'm going to keep my hand in that gi the whole time, okay? So once I lay back down and bring him down, this will hold a little bit like I'm drawing back a bow, right? But if he's strong, pull your elbow back. Yeah, good. He's still going to get that back, right? So what really does it is this. This foot to the hip, and then this is tight, right? Try and get your elbow back now. That bumps up against my thigh, and now he can't get that arm back. And then I can switch to the arm bar. You guys got it? Let's try it. This is a really common thing with people. When we're doing arm locks and triangles from closed guard bottom, you want to pivot, not a shrimp. Okay, so what I mean by that, if I go like this, see I'm more on my left hip. This is more of a shrimp, right, where I'm going like this. The problem with this is, because I'm more on my left hip, there's a huge hole here. Pull your arm out. He's just going to get his arm out. Okay. So when you do arm locks, you want your hips level, right? So if you looked underneath me, my hips are pretty level. I'm not too much on my right hip. I'm not too much on my left hip. And that takes away that hold. Try and pull your arm out. Good. So instead of shrimping, you want to pivot. Pivots like this. So your back, your hips stay level, and you're just rotating. Same thing with a triangle, right? If I go for a triangle and I shrimp this way, or I shrimp this way, I'm going to have a hard time locking that triangle up, right? If I just pivot, then there's plenty of space to lock that triangle up. So your hips, even if they were off the ground, should be level, more or less, okay? Go ahead. Okay, guys, one last thing, and then we'll put this together in a combination. I'll let you guys drill. What's he going to do when you armbar him? He's going to stack. He's going to stack you, right? They either pull their arm out if it's a bad arm lock. If they can't retract the arm, the appropriate response is to stack. He's going to try and bring your knees to your nose, which is what you should be doing, right? It's not wrong. So if I'm here, right, I just want you to go back for a sec. Look at the position of my left foot. Let's say I cross. This is the worst because it takes the pressure off. But even if I don't cross, I just go here. Stack me. It's very hard, even if I'm strong, pushing with my knees to prevent that stack. Right, go back. So instead of having my foot here, my left foot is always here. And my heel is driving this way. Stack. And that kills that stack. Okay? So as you do this arm lock, this leg is super heavy and tight. This knee's tight. Try and pull that arm back. Can't, right? And as my foot comes over, my heel flares out. Now stack. Now there's no stack. Okay, that's the last detail. Let's try it. A couple things. One thing the top person would be doing if this was an actual match as well is potentially stripping the grip, right? Reaching up and pulling the grip off the collar. For this drill, don't do that though. We're just gonna let the person keep the grip the whole time so that they can work. And as you guys are playing and working your grip, the gi, nature of our sport, gi moves around, it's loose or gets untied, slips where your hand starts to slip. So throughout the match, you're always going to be readjusting your grip. You have to, right? Because what I want to maintain consistent, I don't have to be super deep back here. This is good for some things. It's not actually quite as good for choking when I'm that deep. But I do need to have my thumb behind his ear. Okay, so if I'm here, then it's much harder for me to reach his artery and choke him. It takes a lot of muscle. So that thumb needs to be behind the ear. So you're always going to be sliding that hand up, right? And usually that means letting go and pulling your hand up. Sometimes you'll let go and pull the collar down. Sometimes you just slide it up, right? But that's going to be a game you're constantly doing. And if you don't do that and you get into a position and you're trying to finish a choke, but your grip is slipped, right? And so it's a little too low. One thing you can always do too, if you're in a position like this and your hands are too low to choke, is I'll just let go for a second and shoot both my hands up and then come back down, right? Just kind of up to regrip. Okay, so let's add one more tool here, right? So I've got the cross collar grip and I'm gonna work the classic scissor sweep because that's such a good combination with the cross collar grip, okay? So let's just look at how that works. When I do this one, I'm pulling his silhouette over this post, this direction, okay? So from here, it would be very hard. If his body just stays right where it is right there, this would be a very hard sweep because his post is so far in front, right? So as I adjust my body, as I open up my legs, I'm trying to bring his hips closer to this knee. And that's what helps facilitate the sweep. I don't want to pull him on top of me, but I do like just sit low, right? Now it's going to be very hard to get the guy over the knee. Raise your hip up, hip up, hip up. All right, now it's going to be easy, right? Now it's just a little bit of a turn and I can bring him down that angle. So that's what you're using your grip for. The other hand on the sleeve is great because it makes it so he can't post, right? And sometimes you'll see there what I did for a minute. I put my foot on the mat to get my body in just the right spot to be able to facilitate that, to where I could bring his silhouette over his post. Have both grips, and then from here, normally I would put two hands on the mat to come on top, push-up position. With the drill, I'm just going to use one. This one stays tight and get on top. Okay, we're going to use that to get into an arm lock in just a second, but let's just practice that scissor sweep. Okay, go ahead. Good. Okay, the arm bar. This is a fun combination, especially to teach white belts, because it's good to get you moving your hips from one side to the other. Okay, but same exact grip we've been working all night. I'm working that cross collar grip. I go for the scissor sweep, but I don't get him over. His base is too good. Yeah, so we're in a position like that, right? We're here. Boom, I can't sweep. Hand comes here, and I switch back to that arm lock, okay? So all I'm really doing, doesn't quite work. Cross collar goes to the arm. Leg comes back to the other side, okay? Put it together. Okay, let's try it. Just by happenstance, you don't really get to choose. You'll wind up in a slightly different position, right? And you'll kind of feel it where I'm sweeping here. Here, when I go, I'll go for the arm lock, right? Sometimes you wind up here where you went to scissor sweep and you're over the top of his arm. And from there, the simplest combination is always just a triangle, okay? So if you feel your knee over the top of his arm, you've got an easy triangle, right? So we're here. Everything's the same. I'm pulling. I'm going for the scissor sweep, but oh, I'm over the top now, right? So now as I go, it's the exact same thing as the arm lock, only instead of being under his arm, when I take this, I'm over his arm. but I'm doing the exact same thing with my legs, right? And pivot. And my knee is what keeps him off me, right? So I go for that. I'm kind of, if I release the pressure, he's going to be all over me, right? But with my knee there, I'm pushing and pulling. Now I have pretty good control of his body. And as my leg pivots, it puts him right into the spot I need him to be. Make sense? Okay, let's try. One last thing, guys, on the, let me show you one last thing on the triangle, and then we'll drill. You don't want to push the person's head away. That makes it hard to lock it in, and also more likely that they're going to potentially stack and pass your guard, okay? So if I'm pushing, see how I'm extending and pushing his leg, it's hard for me to lock it in, and this is also easier. What you really want is like a hook, okay? Because what's really choking him is this part. Like the deeper I can get him in here underneath my knee, the better the choke is. So what you want with a triangle is it should be like this. Okay, so what that means is I go here, I throw my leg there, and then I pull him back towards me to bring it in. And you can kind of even feel when I go here, I won't even use my other leg. That becomes the choke, right? So as you go the triangle, it's just a little pull. That brings him back underneath. That makes it easier for you to lock in your leg, but it also makes the triangle a lot tighter. It's like a hook, okay? Just try it a couple times. So let's finish with one last move the kids these days call the canto choke, but it's always there. Anytime you're doing an arm lock with the cross collar grip, one of the extra benefits is you have this advantage here, right? I go here and pull your arm out. I can finish the choke with my leg and my hand. So all that's happening there is my left leg is doing the job of my left hand, right? Look at it again. Again, this is predicated on me having a good grip. My grip actually slid a little bit there. I should have a better grip. Having a good grip there. Now I have a solid grip. I go here, I keep that good connection. He pulls that out. So I'm moving my head a little bit this way. And just imagine this is your left arm. My right wrist is turning in the same way I did before, and this has to hold his head in place. Right. Go ahead and try that. We're going to do a drill. So you guys can, it's up to you. You can start standing, or you can start from the guard, whichever one. If you're comfortable doing standing, do standing, as long as you guys are nice and careful with each other. Or bring it back down to the ground and start in the guard. One side has cross collar grip. So if we're starting standing, I get cross collar grip. He's not allowed to strip it, and I have to keep it there the whole time, okay? And now we're just gonna wrestle to submission. No matter where we go, if I'm cross side bottom, I've got to keep my hand in his collar. I'm mount, I got to keep my hand in his collar. So the rule of the game is that grip, I have to keep that grip the whole time. We're both trying to finish. He's not gonna try and remove it, and I can't let go. Okay, we'll do a round. If you get somebody taps, stop and start again. I'll tell you when to switch. And then the other person gets a chance to put their hand in the collar. Make sense? Okay, pick a partner. I'll go with you. And I'll tell you when to switch.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for frequent updates because we're updating this every week. And make sure you comment and like and share our videos. We appreciate it, and we definitely try and respond to all the comments. And if you like what we're doing and you like the material, check out SBG University, SBGU, and you're going to see a ton more in much greater depth than what you see here on YouTube. Thank you very much.